Hey, anybody listening, welcome back to the Comfycast. This is episode 26, I believe, but it's also kind of not an episode. Today we're going to be talking about, as you probably saw from the title, clicking on this episode, Zelda, Breath of the Wild. It's kind of like a spoiler cast kind of thing. I'm sorry, this is episode 25. I fucked it up again.
Second take, do a second take.
Damn it, no, it's fine. Episode 25, Comfycast, we're going to talk about Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I'm joined by Poondunkus.
Boom, it's me.
And, well, for the first time making his appearance on the Comfycast.
Alright.
The snooze man himself.
Snooze you lose.
You snooze, you win. Isn't that a...
So, yeah, we just wanted to make this recording because we're all feeling kind of the same way about Zelda. It's been about, how long? 3 weeks since it came out? 4 weeks?
No, it's been about 4, because it came out, the 3rd?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it's about today's the 29th. It's about a month. We just wanted to get all our thoughts recorded and stuff. So that's what we're gonna do, guys. Let me start off by saying I hope we're all in agreement here that we love this game.
This is a really good game.
It's taken over my life insanely. Let me preface this by saying, what do you guys are asking? What are you guys playing this on?
Wii U.
And well,
Switch.
Okay, I'm playing it on Wii U as well.
Oh. You're both useless. Come on, man.
Yeah, eventually I'm hoping to get a Switch, but I'm kind of, now that I've played through Zelda, I'm like, do I really need it?
No, there's nothing else to play.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But I played through it on Wii U, and I have to say that, I know that I'm pretty sure Switch is where it's meant to be played, and it's a better, it runs better and stuff. But it was fine on Wii U. My only downside was the tablet. I wish I would have utilized it more.
Yeah, that was sort of the thing that I noticed, is it felt like it was developed for the Wii U, but then at some point they knew that it was not going to be there, so okay, we have to make sure this thing doesn't actually make exclusive use of the tablet. Because the Sheikah Slate, that's totally meant to be the tablet, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And it does use the motion controls, but the map never pops up on your tablet. And you can just put pins down with your fingers. That would have been... I'm sure it was built that way, but they took it out for the Switch build and then just never bothered to put in the Wii U exclusive controls.
Yeah.
Which is a little... It's weird, but
it kind of hurts.
It really hurts the game. It's just strange, I think.
Let me start this off, or let me ask you guys, pose this question to you. How many other Zelda games have you played?
Let's see. I've played most of them. Certainly all the 3D Zeldas. And,
you played Ocarina of Time. You played...
Yeah, Ocarina, Majora, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. I even played the DS Zeldas. I played Link to the Past. I played original Legend of Zelda. I didn't play the Game Boy ones, the Oracle
Seasons and that.
Yeah, I missed those. But
what was the last Zelda game you played?
So I played most of them, beaten few, just because I'm lazy.
Yeah, you start them and then...
Yeah, pretty much. So, I played Ocarina of Time, Majora, skipped Wind Waker, Twilight, Phantom Hourglass. Didn't do any of the Game Boy ones. Played a little bit of Skyward Sword, but wasn't really into it with the whole motion controls.
Right, I think Skyward Sword is my blind spot. I never even touched it. At the time I didn't have a Wii, and everybody, it was getting horrible things said about it, so I was just like, whatever, and then cut to now. But right before I played this, I played Wind Waker, and God, it just... I remember pre-ordering it and thinking, yeah, of course I'm going to play Zelda. It's going to be cool, I'm sure. And then I got Horizon, which came out on PS4 about a week before, or 3 days before. And I was like, Horizon is the fucking best game ever. It looks so great. It's amazing. I'm fighting dinosaurs and shit. It took me away. And then 3 days later, I was like, what is Horizon? Not to be
Zelda comes in, it's hold my drink.
I haven't gone back to it. And I know it's a great game. It is good. It's fun. But... and it's beautiful. It's probably the best looking game I've ever played, but Horizon. But Zelda just captured me for some reason in some way. And I know it's like everyone's going through this right now, unless you're like trying to either you can't play it because you don't have a system to play it, which I don't blame you because the Switch is like hard to find. The Wii U was like a lot of people passed it, worst selling console ever. But but at the same time, it's like there are people who are like, I feel like they're just trying to be contrarian to the fact that it's like getting like so many good reviews and stuff. But man, I mean, I was one of those people where when I first started off. Okay, let me talk about this too. From my experience, and I don't know if you guys are the same way, but when I first started off, that first day I played, I didn't get off the Great Plateau, and I was like, it's okay, it's cool, like it's Zelda, that's fun, but I was like, it's kind of annoying. This dude's pissing me off, the old guy. Mm-hmm. When you guys played through your first session, how far did you go? Like in your first session, can you remember?
I played for like 12 hours straight, so I was in like Hatino or something.
See, that's probably like the Switch though. Like if I could have taken it to bed and stuff and to the toilet, I probably would have played more. But
I just got back from work on the Friday, got my Switch set up, got it all shit posted on Devabit that I had one, and then straight up played it until like 5 in the morning.
Jesus.
So my sister was visiting me while I got Zelda, and something that we used to do when we were kids is she would watch as I played, games, and we just kind of like be talking about them. She'd be like, "Oh, go! You should do that, or talk to that guy, or whatever." So, and we haven't obviously had a chance to do that for quite some time because, like I've been at college and then, other things, and she's in college now.
Life.
But she was visiting me, but she was visiting me, and it came out, and I was like, "Do you want to watch me play Zelda?" Like I wasn't gonna make her sit down and watch me play video games, like we can do other stuff. She's like, "Oh no, sure, that'd be cool." I've wanted, because she doesn't really play games herself, She's like, "Yeah, but I heard people say it was good. I'd like to see it." That was really cool to get to share that again with her, and I feel like this is one of those perfect games of if someone's watching, you just be able to say, "Oh, hey, check that out. Have you tried doing this?" Kind of thing, just to make random suggestions, and then you can just try shit and go places. And
it's one of my favorite things about the game, honestly, is like I think the past 3 days I've been like, okay, today's the day I'm gonna beat Ganon. And by the way, I don't know if I said this up top. This is like kind of spoilery for the most part, but we're gonna leave main quest Ganon ending stuff out. So we're just gonna talk about little side missions, shrines, puzzles, and little shit that we find. That we all found, and just kind of compare stuff. So you might get spoiled if you're listening, but it shouldn't be anything too big, except for memories, because we'll probably talk about those. But So that's one of my favorite things about this game is that for the past 2 days I've been like, I'm gonna buckle down. I made a bunch of fucking guardian arrows or whatever the fuck they're called. I'm ready to I'm gonna just attack the castle. I'm gonna go and then I'm like, oh wait, I don't have a lot of shrines at this point in the map. Yeah. Or like I could probably get like 3 more hearts by the end of the day. Or like, like if I just get like 2 more spirit orbs, I'll go to, Kakariko, some fucking village, and I'll get orbs. And I mean, I'll use my orbs. Some shit. I always get distracted is what I'm saying. Like, and then as I'm doing that, it's like, what the fuck? There's a shrine over there. Or like, what is that
like
glowing?
I have some goal. Like, okay, I need to grind money so I can buy, that hat to finish out the armor set.
Yeah.
And then in the process of like grinding for money, either I get something else going, or I, like, wait, I haven't actually checked out like the south at all. I ought to spend some time here.
It's amazing. Like, I feel like I've. Okay, so let's. We're all like done with towers, right? We all have all the towers.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so because I have all those, I feel like I'm done with the map. Like it's open, but then you go to places and like I'm just climbing a rock. And I'll just see a spot that looks totally different, and I've never been there. And then you like glide over there and try to find your way.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, how is this here? Like this whole time.
Yeah.
And
okay, so so here's the thing: is I don't really like open world games. All right?
Yeah.
I've tried to play a few in the past, and I just kind of get bored with them. Either
it's
because
fatigue,
I don't
man.
I don't like the
Well, like all the fetch quests,
or I'm not invested in anything going on in the world, or I just think, as I've said before, so much of these open world games, it looks just like I'm going around Montana.
Yeah.
And this game, though, I think maybe because you have so many mobility options and the world is so vertical. Because in a game like, say, Far Cry Primal, one that I played and absolutely did not like at all, it's relatively flat. And I distinctly remember one point where I saw an interesting rock formation. I was like, oh, I'll get over to that. And I eventually got over to that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I got over to that. And that was the extent of it. There wasn't anything interesting there. It was just the same scrub brush and, an elk like everywhere else on the map. But in here, it's like you're climbing some tall-ass tower and you see a weird rock thing to get there, and then there's something going on. Either there's
always a Korok seed.
Yeah.
I don't care how high you climb.
Waiting to you can pick up, or like maybe there's a chest buried into something, or maybe there's a shrine, or you are on a new vantage point and you can see something else. Maybe there's like an enemy camp below that you can glide into. But it just feels so fun to move around and explore, and there's a variety of
everything is so
environment.
Everything is so implicit. Like everything is designed so that it seems like they knew, like, okay, someone's gonna get here and they're gonna look out and they're gonna see, like, what is that? And something better be here when they get here. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel it was.
You know what it kind of is?
Designed.
It's like one of those, it really feels like a gigantic Japanese garden in that sense. Because, like, if you've ever been to one of those things, like, the whole deal is like, oh, every view ought to look as if it was perfectly framed, like you were supposed to stand here and look at it. And
that's really true, yeah.
It's similar to that, not that everything is a perfect aesthetic view, though there are plenty of great vistas, but just that every direction you look, you see something interesting. Yeah, there's always something going on.
Piques your interest, yeah.
Yeah, that makes you want to go on over there and see what's up.
Like I was saying earlier, when I was like gliding around trying to find wherever I don't know, I forgot what I was doing. I was just running, trying to see what was over in a spot I hadn't been. I don't know, I don't know if you guys had been to this place, but it's called, oh, damn it, it's a type of woods. It's kind of like the Lost Woods, but it's not the Lost Woods because it's pitch black. Have you guys been there?
Someone told me about that, but I haven't found it. Where is it?
I'm gonna have to pull up the map. What did you say, Whoop?
I've heard of it. I just haven't
Okay,
seen
so
it.
It's like somewhere in the desert area. Let me see. Hold on.
I'm in the desert area right now.
Okay, apologies
in the desert.
I mean,
yeah, it's insane. It's just like you walking up this mountain and things get black, and you see like a black smoke, and you walk into it, and then like it starts like a shrine, but it's huge. Like it's huge. Like it's like the Lost Woods, but I didn't even notice it on the map. And then you walk in, and it starts like a shrine, and it's all pitch black, and you have a torch. And you have to just keep running, lighting the things, and like looking for.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I won't spoil it for you guys towards the end, but it ends up being a shrine, but there is like a battle and stuff. But
cool.
And then after I did the shrine, I'm just walking around. I'm like, even this area alone is huge. As I was walking, I'm like, I thought I lit all this area up already, but like nope, I was like on the other side of the forest or whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, just to sum up like what you guys are just saying about that and everything, I booted the game just to check something. Like, I've got it in tablet mode right now, and while you've just been talking, I've been running around doing a shrine, just trying to power up. I just wanted to get a vantage point and have a look around, and spotted a shrine, glided on over there, climbed up a cliff because I was next to it.
Yeah.
God, yeah. Okay, it's actually pretty close to the forest. It's in the Eldin Mountains, I believe that's it. The Typhlo Ruins.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that area
up there.
Okay.
Yeah, you see like a little.
I've seen that on the map, but I haven't gone to it. So it's not in the desert after all. It's in the north.
Yeah, it's somewhere up there. It's pretty close to Death Mountain though, so it's kind of like hot area.
Oh,
so
okay. I can see. Isn't that like wastelands over there? I think?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of like wastelands. Okay. And I was out there, and like I think like on the other side of that ridge, there's a Lionel. Which, by the way, fuck those guys, right? But I was on the other side of the ridge, and I was like running away from him because he caught on to me. Because there's like a little one of those Korok seed things where you have to put a rock down in the right area or whatever. Well, this rock, like they placed it right in his fucking spawn camp. Like it's right by him. So I was trying to get it without him noticing. but he fucking like picked up on me. So I'm running away. I climb up that mountain and drop down over it, and then like I see this black smoke just start like engulfing me. I'm like, what is going? I thought it was a blood moon at first. I thought it was blood moon, and I was like, what? Like, what's going on? And then like the shrine started, and I was like, what? I have not even seen this on the map.
Yeah. Yeah, or how about the island in the southeast?
Oh, is it Eventide?
Yeah, Eventide.
Oh my god, yeah.
So good.
That was I didn't understand what it was when I got there. I was like, "What is going on?" And like, I really felt like this was like end game shit because it takes all your stuff, like
Yeah.
But it was a really nice like surprise. Like what you really don't like. You don't see that coming. Like like oh they're just gonna bombard you with this. Like oh all your shit's gone now. Like
Right.
like
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first time I did that. But I so I cleared out, all the enemies basically after being a a cheap ass with bombs and stuff. Right?
I do that all the time.
That's how I did it.
Hinox is just me bombing them for 3 minutes until they're like halfway down. Then I just start running around them.
But and then it's time to put the little balls in the places, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But then that one in the water, I threw it in the water, and then it floated away, and I was like, oh.
Shit.
So I had to reload my save and do it again. But since later, someone was like, you could have just walked out to it with ice blocks. I was like,
that's what I did. Yeah,
that's
I
right.
my
You
way.
can do that.
And I've seen some people solve it by cutting down a tree and then rolling it over there and walking across it.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally forget that you can do that. Also, by
I
mentioning things I totally forget, we can fucking stop time. Like I never use it. I should use it more in battles, and I always forget.
Yeah,
like,
I
use
that in battles just for a little bit of a quick freeze, so I can get off an attack.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I forget that I have it. I'm always just using the brown bombs, and I don't even remember.
It's like that stuff where you have to lift the plate.
Yeah,
in the Jurassic Park area and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it took me forever to figure out how to move those. Because I just completely forgot about half the stuff. I was like, how the fuck do I move this?
Yeah. For me, it's the ice block stuff that I always in the Jurassic, that's like the southern foreign area, right?
Yeah.
And there's all these treasure chests in the water, right? And I was just forgetting about the ice blocks to raise them out so you can go up and open them. So I kept on throwing bombs and exploding them and stuff, and then I just swim around and hope that whatever they dropped wouldn't sink, So if it was stuff like arrows or rupees, I was good. But if it was a weapon, I'm like, oh well, I guess that one's lost.
Yeah, I forget like half the arsenal of shit that I have, and I usually it's funny how I play like this, and I'm probably gonna regret it, but it's like that thing of like where you play like RPGs or whatever, and you're like, I don't want to use a potion because I might need it, and then at the end you have like 200 fucking potions that you never used. It's like that because like I use my lowest weapon all the time. I have it equipped.
Okay,
I will not equip.
Let's talk about weapon durability because this is like the complaint that I see people bring up most often, and I've talked to a couple of people in real life about it. But the thing is, both of these people were basically just still on the plateau.
Oh, that's nothing. They're breaking tree branches, dude. Like,
those weapons are shit, and yes, they do break.
Yeah,
in 3 hits, but you basically haven't even started playing the game.
Yeah. Weapon durability, it gets it's not as annoying as I thought it would be.
No,
I don't really like when games do this, but the way that they make weapons so available to you, like either taking them from enemies or
really what's annoying to me is just how few weapon slots you get.
Yeah.
Just because I am constantly having to swap out my. It's not even shit weapons. I'm swapping. I'm like, oh gosh, what's the lowest thing I have? I guess 35 is the lowest.
Yeah, when you have to get rid of a 35 fire sword, like it's fucked up.
But because that's everything else I have is just better.
Yeah.
But it works, and I do like how it sort of forces you to cycle through and use different things, because otherwise you would pretty much just get a good weapon and
stick with it,
and use it all the way.
And then it gets boring, like, if you're just like, oh, I found this shit, I'm just keeping this forever, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
But like even like the environment, like, thunderstorms, like they force you to have wooden weapons on you, because if you have that shit equipped, you're gonna get electrocuted.
Unless
So
you get the Thunder Helm or Rubber
the first
Suit.
time that happened to me, I was like, "Oh my god, what are the chances? Am I the only one that's gotten struck by lightning in Zelda?" And then I realized it's because I have a fucking metal shield. And
I used to think when it was first happening, I thought because I'd look at my inventory and I'd see everything sparking, I thought I had to just throw away all of my stuff. So I just drop all of my all my shields and all my metal things, just leave them on the countryside.
That's funny though, because that shows how much this game makes you think about things work. Like things just work that shouldn't work, or like that usually don't work in most games. Like the way fire works, things lighting on fire and then it creates wind. And like that, I said about the electricity, the like using your time to like cause momentum and things. When time releases, they go flying. Like systems are built like that, so you do get scared when it's like, well, is it because I have it in my pocket that it's like the electricity's picking up on me? But like for the most part, everything that you think should work works, and it's like insane.
Exactly. It's a good feeling that you're when you feel when you can solve puzzles by doing something that you're like, I'm pretty sure this wasn't the correct way.
Yeah.
Like there's been more than a couple times where I've solved something by picking a big iron block up, lifting it into the air, dropping it, freezing time while it's like midway across a gap, and then jumping on it and jumping over.
Not even using any of the puzzle parts.
And it's like, there's probably another way. Like I remember one time I did that is because the puzzle was that there's fire just coming straight down, like fire jets.
Oh, wow.
And it turns out what you're supposed to do is just pick it up and just hold it above your head as you walk underneath.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not that hard. But I didn't think of that at all. So I was like dropping it to the outside so I'd run and jump, get on the side of it, and then skirt around.
Yeah, I did the same thing as you. So.
Yeah, so it took me, like half an hour just to do that thing. But you can do these other ways. It's not like old Zelda games where the puzzle is just shoot the eyeball.
Yeah, it's insane how it makes you actually think harder sometimes for puzzles than you really have to.
Right.
But the cool thing is that it works. Like even like I've seen people like with electrical puzzles, obviously using metal weapons.
Oh yeah.
To solve them, and it's like they don't even bother bullshitting with any of the mechanics in the puzzle. They just like string a whole bunch of weapons to make the current connect, and like, hey, we're done. I know people have had problems with shrines, but let's talk about the dungeons, which are the beasts.
Right.
What order? I think I had asked you guys before this, but what order did you guys do the beasts in?
Let's see.
So I did Rito, Zora, Goron, then Gerudo.
I did.
The Gerudo is the best by far.
Yeah, I did Zora, then Gerudo, then Rito, then Goron, and I agree that the Gerudo had the best one.
Okay, I did Zora, Goron, Rito, and then Gerudo.
Okay.
And I think my favorite, I don't even know if I have a favorite. I guess, because I understand the complaint of people saying they're all kind of the samey. Like it's all get inside the beast, find the map, that stuff, and then battle the other version of Ganon or whatever, his little monsters, whatever. But I don't know what I would say is the best. I can't even really remember Gerudo. Oh, it's the camel, right?
Yeah, it was the camel. And see, to me, that one was the best because it felt like it was the most involved because you had the 3 rotating sections that could all go 360 degrees around. Yeah. And then you also had the whole idea of connecting the circuits along the whole camel was sort of like the other meta puzzle, and it just made the salamander Goron one of it turns 90 degrees sideways.
Yeah, the salamander was
I expected then we'll keep turning the other way. It's like nope, it just goes.
It just goes way. Yeah,
just goes those two, and then the bird it just tilts. It's like I don't know.
The Gerudo was the only one that really felt like a puzzle.
Yeah. I mean, I also though enjoyed the the Zora one just because using the elephant's trunk to push
the water.
That was hella cool.
Yeah, it was just cool, even though when you think about it, it wasn't... I mean, I guess the trunk really is either, up or down.
Yeah.
You you had a bunch of options for where to put it, but yeah, it was a cool design. I guess maybe that's one point is I would have liked to see more dungeons and more dungeons that had a variety of books to them. You know,
Yeah.
that's
like
maybe one criticism I have, because in other Zelda games you have, like in like here, like just in Skyward Sword, so the fire dungeon was like a Hindu temple kind of theme, and then it also had another fire dungeon that was an inside of a mine theme, and then it had a sand pirate ship one, and then it had another one that was like in the clouds. And, of course, Twilight Princess had the Snowy Mansion dungeon.
Right. I think my complaint more towards them is not so much a setting or like the differentiate. I mean, I know inside they kind of look pretty much the same, but it's more of the fact that, and it's like okay, another Zelda games where it's like you need to get this weapon before you do this dungeon kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So like maybe if there would have been more of a, I mean, I don't know, it's hard because I do like that it's like you can choose whichever one you want to fucking go to, like you make the order. But at the same time, I wish there was like maybe like double them up where it's like you can do that first, you can pick however which way you want to start, but then like you need those things to get to another one. Mm-hmm. Like say there was like two more after the four of them that you couldn't do until you did like two of the ones in the four. Yeah. Like two of them would be like starter dungeons, and then two of them would be like medium, and then you had to finish those two to get to the last two. Because then it seems like they can up it, but I feel like because they're playing on this even field of like you can start off on any dungeon, they all kind of end up being like like rotate the thing and then find out where you're going.
Yeah,
but I am glad that they start you off with everything right off the bat in the Sheikah Slate. It's like you can right away. You can stop time. You can magnesis or whatever the hell it's called. You can freeze. Yeah. You can bomb. Like just we're not gonna hold that stuff back. That's pretty cool.
It's a different way, of doing things. Like I guess maybe we can talk about the way that this is a departure from.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The Zelda formula they've been using since
forever.
A Link to the Past, at least. In terms of, that you get the item, and the item lets you do the next dungeon where you get another item. But in here, they give everything that's essential to you at the start. And then, yes, you do. It's not like there is no sense of progression. That's not true, because you do get better armor, and you do get more abilities. And none of the abilities are useless either. I thought all four.
Yeah, for sure. I totally forget that I have those too.
Yeah, they're all really good. Because Urbosa's lightning,
the Rivali's Gale is like you can scale anything so much easier
so
with that.
Great for moving around, and then Mipha's Grace, saves your ass all the time.
Of course, yeah.
And of course, Daruk is just like, no, I don't not want to take that damage. We'll just tank that.
My only problem with Daruk's is like I feel like I'm wasting it when I'm like just I guard like unnaturally, even if it's like a little bat or whatever, and then like it hits me, I'm like, oh fuck, that was a waste, and they won't start recharging until you waste it. So I'm like, fuck, like I kind of wish it would just like after each one it would start recharging the one that you're down.
That would be nice, because I use it twice, and I feel like, well, I ought to just use the other one to get started on recharging. But yeah, those are all useful, and then you're also the other interesting thing is just how you would think that you would just find that the item growth in terms of the weapons you find would be real unnatural, because you can go in any order, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels, like my inventory at, where I am now, 80 hours, 90 hours into it, is so much stronger than it was at 50 hours, and I was stronger than it was at 20 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
Just the average strength, and it's partially just because the game spawns harder enemies with better weapons, just I think as the more completion you get.
Yeah, I keep running into nothing but those little the white what are they called, goblin things?
The white bokoblins?
Yeah, that's all I see now. I never even see the regular ones. Yeah, they're all those white ones, and they all have good shields and shock arrows.
Yeah.
I think I'm about 100 hours in. That I put into it.
How much shrines and Koroks?
Oh god, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think I have. I don't know. 180 something. I don't know if that's
wow.
That might be Korok seeds. Shrines, I don't know, 62, 60, 68.
So this is where I really fall behind. I've got like 67 shrines, but I've only got like 33 Koroks.
What?
So
How do you only have 33?
I haven't got all that shit you guys have, like the really strong bokoblins.
How many hearts do you have?
1 row plus 2. So I think it's like 12 or something.
That's pretty good.
I've gotten like, I want to say 80-ish shrines, and then about 100 Koroks.
Yeah, Koroks. I found this spot where there's like 5 Koroks in one area. Let's see if I can pull this up too. It's I did that today actually. It is by
so it turns out there's 900 of those little guys.
I can't believe that. That's insane.
It does not feel like there are 900 of them.
That's
but
fucking
I guess
crazy.
The reason they did it is just to guarantee that you find
something everywhere.
And also it's too many, you know?
Yeah,
but that's because they are not seriously expecting you to find 900 of them. They're expecting you to find, you know, I'm gonna guess about 100 or 200 or so of them, you know, and the rest it's just extras. It's like they know that you won't find them all, and
that's
insane. You're a crazy autist savant, and you want to go for all of that.
I think someone figured out that to max out all your stuff, you need about 400.
Slots. Yeah, so it's like the others are literally just filler, which is an interesting way of doing it, but
God, I wonder where they're at. Like, I feel like I've searched so much, and like when I do stumble upon them, it's usually like, all the way at the top of a cliff I haven't been to or something. But like 900, that means I have like 800 left. That's insane.
I was reading as some guy was like, oh yeah, you need to roll boulders between like trees.
Fuck that. There's no way I'll know. How would I have known that?
Yeah, it's like, no, that's bullshit.
I did one rolling a boulder like down into a little pond.
Yeah, I've done a couple of those, but have you guys ever seen spots where there's like 3 trees on top of a mountain? Like 3 trees right in a row?
I've noticed it, but I've not done anything with them.
So those things, they have fruit on them, right?
Right.
What you have to do is there's like 2 trees that will have the same amount of fruit and 1 tree that will have more, and you have to pick the extra fruit. So
oh my god! I never even thought of that. Way. Jesus.
And the thing is, I've come up to a few of those, and I just like, okay, and I just take everything. You know?
Fuck those little Koroks! Yeah. Why are they hiding?
Yeah, so I have to go back now after the fruit respawns, which apparently everything. I don't know if you know this, but in addition to enemies, the overworld, just like the items that are lying around in the overworld, respawn every blood moon as well.
Oh, right.
So not things in chests, but like, you know, at like in towns and stuff when people have like axes lying around.
Oh yeah, like the stables and stuff.
Yeah, in stables, like those things will respawn. But that also means there are a couple spots where there's actually good weapons. You know, it's like stuck into rocks or whatever. So if you want, you can go back and get those. But as we said, the game throws good weapons at you at a regular pace that I've never... That's something else that I've heard people say, is that the weapons break so often and they have to run around and find good weapons again. It's like, that's... alien. That's not been my experience at all. I always have too many weapons.
Yeah, I spent most of my time just using the never mind, I just ran into a Molduga. So
he's flying right now.
But no, I need to pause that because I'm getting killed. Anyway, so while I've been running around, I just use the enemy's weapons. Like, if mine's about to break, I'll throw it at one to get the double damage, pick up their weapon, and then go kill the rest of them.
Yeah,
I've never had an issue with that. Like 3/4 of my invent is normally weapons I picked up from the modest test of strength or major.
Right.
So I've got stuff that can screw a guardian in seconds.
Yeah, I really enjoy using their weapons against them because I'll just throw them right away and like it does double damage when it hits. So and if it breaks, I don't give a shit because it's like it wasn't mine. You know, I wasn't trying to.
Yeah, it wasn't mine anyway.
Yeah, I usually try to do.
Yeah, so there's let's see. Let me say that I regularly, like, my default answer, people ask me, what's your favorite game of all time? Which is a hard question, I think, to answer, to pick one, right? But I generally just say the Wind Waker, because I
Yeah.
do really, really love that game, and it's easily my favorite Zelda game. But in playing this, I'm like, man, I think I like this game more than Wind Waker, so by definition, does that make this my new favorite game?
I think it makes it harder because I know that there's like, even thinking of any other game, any other franchise or whatever, there's a lot of like nostalgia and things tied to it.
Mhm.
But yeah, like as far as like games that have completely like enveloped my life,
Right.
like I was saying about Horizon, not only Horizon, there's Nier, there's Overwatch updates that I have missed out on. I was away from dub for like a fucking 2 weeks because of Zelda. Like I wasn't even like trying to turn on my computer. Like, you know what I mean? I just didn't care.
I was playing this game for at least 5 hours a day for the better part of a month, and I can't remember the last time I wanted to play a game that much.
Yeah, it's hard to not be cynical about video games and stuff. But like I mean, I've been trying to branch out now that I've done enough stuff, gotten all the memories, got the Master Sword, did all most of the main, I did all the beasts and a lot of the shrine quests.
Right.
All
Did
I really
you get
have,
all the memories?
Yes, yeah, I've got all the memories. All I have to do is actual Ganon. I've even been into the castle, obviously, because to get one of the memories in the castle, and I've like run around there, killed some guardians and stuff, looked around for loot or whatever. All I have to do is actually finish it. But I'm like, I don't want to let it go, because once I do that, I know that there's other stuff to find, but at the same time, I feel like without a purpose, will I want to find it? Or, I mean, I probably will. I'll probably be able to like boot it up and just run around. But then it's like, I mean, I don't know how the end game works exactly. So I mean, I'm not sure. And then I know there's like DLC coming, so that's gonna be cool. But
that's true, isn't there? I wonder.
Yes.
Well, one is the hero mode, but I don't know if that's even worth it to me, because I physically can't put that much more time into it, and that would probably take double the amount of time that this took. So as much as that's cool for people who like that's all their one game and they love it and whatever, okay, cool. I just want new shit to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
New weapons and a new place, a new area with a new
example,
like
if
fights.
it added like a 5th Divine Beast equivalent. Something like that. I'd be way into that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be way into if they just said, "Oh, the new area is an island off to the east," and you just kind of get on a DLC boat and just go over there, and you're in a new little map.
Something cool, great. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's talk about characters now.
Okay.
Because we haven't really. I want to say that for the first time playing a Zelda game, that I'm glad Zelda's in this game, the way she's represented. And I'm not even going to talk about voice acting, because I know that there's problems with that. I know I guess we could talk about it. The voice acting for me, in my opinion, is a little shoddy in places, and other times it's really like spot on, like cool. But Zelda is, I kind of take issue with her accent sometimes. It's kind of like annoying. The one that really gets to me, and I know it doesn't get to you guys, I think we talked about this, but is the King. I cannot stand his voice. I don't know why. When he talks, I'm just like, this is so obviously a fake accent. Like it gets to me. At least to me, it sems like that. But no, Zelda,
the
there's
King
so much
development. I guess my opinion on the voice acting was it doesn't feel like it really benefits the game, but it doesn't really hurt it either. Like they made a big deal out of, this is the first Zelda game with voice acting,
and then it's like, okay, yeah, like what?
It's like it's only in the it's only in the cutscenes, and Link is still a mute protagonist. Which makes it really weird in some of the things where Zelda's like breaking down, and they're like,
he's like just looking, he's just looking at her.
Like,
who knows? Maybe at the end he says something. I don't know. I haven't been there, but yeah.
Well, I know he doesn't say anything.
Oh, damn it! No. Yeah, but that's really true. Is like they made a big deal about this, or maybe they didn't make a big deal about it. People made a big deal about it having voice acting. And I think because of that, it's kind of judged like a little bit unfairly, where it's like we're waiting for it, kind of hyped about it, and then it's like, oh, it's just regular. It's like it's not great, not bad, but like video game voice acting.
But I will say that if you've listened to the Spanish dub, I thought the voices in the Spanish dub were like, excelente.
Excelente. Excelente. Yeah, it's emotion, man. They don't put emotion in their things.
Yeah, it's Dios mío. Like you say, it's the sense that you get the idea that the accent is fake, which is I don't know. It seems like if you're hiring voice actors for something like Zelda, you ought to be able to get actual British people if you want them to sound British. You know.
So, as a British person, as much as I hate to say that, Zelda is awful. Like that is some of the worst voice acting I've heard in a video. I would rather listen to Just Cause 2 again.
Yeah, her voice does get to me. Like, I watched the trailer for the Japanese one, actually. Not just the trailer, but I watched all the memories. The Japanese voice acting. Oh my god, so much better. Like, and I'm not trying to be like fucking weeb. Like, you know, like, why can't they just keep the, you know, dual audio? I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, it's like, man, they hired people over there that know how to put emotion into their words.
Yeah.
And this girl, whoever they hired, like, I mean, it's okay, it's fine, but it doesn't stand out. Like, it didn't make me like, oh my god, I feel so sorry for her. But at the same time, I will say that this story is probably, I mean, obviously, it's kind of like the same kind of Zelda story, but the way that they went about showing it and finding the memory, I mean, remembering her, remembering everything that happened, it really does make you feel like you're connected to her through Link.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because it really, to me, at least when I'm watching it, it's not, at first it wasn't really much of a, like, I didn't feel like this, oh, they're trying to paint her as like this, oh, you know, you love her and you gotta rescue her or whatever. It was more like they were friends, but she didn't like him. Like, that's what I got at first, like, she was kind of jealous of him, right? Or like, yeah.
100%.
And so that was pretty cool. I was just like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't expect her to be like angry at me or Link or whatever, you know? And then it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to help her. Why the fuck should I? I'm alive. She's stuck in there. Yeah. But no, and the story, as far as the memories go, what was your guys' favorite one? Like, what was the most interesting one that you can remember, if you can remember any of them?
Let's see. I think I liked the one with Urbosa in it.
Yep.
Just
when they're on the beast,
on the balcony.
Yeah, when she's asleep
or whatever.
Yeah.
Not only just because Urbosa is bae, like all the Gerudos are, but because it was all three of them interacting instead of just Zelda, you know, talking to Link or Link getting talked to by one of the other Guardians. It had multiple characters, and I would have liked more that showed them and the other champions interacting as a team.
Yeah,
in a way.
There was only one. I think it's the first. Oh, those two. The first one where she's like knighting him or whatever.
Yeah,
and they're kind of talking to each other.
Had.
But Mipha doesn't say anything because Mipha is bae. But Mipha doesn't say anything. But she does in her memory or whatever. I mean, when you beat her beast. But then there's the other one in those pillars, right?
Mm-hmm.
When her shit starts going down, they're like, "Oh, it's happening."
Yeah.
And then they're talking, but I don't think they all talk together apart from those two.
It's a little. I don't know.
Certainly times.
I would have liked to see more of that, but the other. So a place that the Zelda games, to me at least, usually thrive is just having moderately interesting NPCs.
Yeah.
In terms of every NPC you talk to is going to say something, and usually it'll be kind of funny or interesting or whatever. Like, they're not all deep characters or anything like that, but it's just always worth it to talk to people. In this game,
it's enough.
Definitely continues that, and everyone giving you the little side quests. Like, there's one girl who's just like waiting under a tree, and she's like, "My fortune said that I should wait for the hero, so I'm just gonna wait here." And then you have to, and then once you get the sword and show up and bring it to her, she's like, "Oh, well, you're not my type, so I guess the fortune was wrong." I'm like, whatever.
There's did you guys do the one with the Gerudo and that guy who like she's waiting at like that heart what's it called, the lake? Yeah. That was funny because you do the thing and he asks you just to bring like a blue whatever the flowers, Safina or whatever, and you give it to him and he's like, "Oh, I'm too scared to give it to her." So you go and you tell her, and she like walks over to him and she's like, "Oh, okay, well, like state your piece, like, you know, say what you're gonna say to me to get me to like win me over."
Yeah.
And the way she phrases it, he's like, he thinks she's telling him.
Yeah.
That was funny. And then at the end, he offers you 20 rupees. And even I was like, "That's it, dude? Like, you're going to give me 20 rupees? And then she tells him, like, "That's all I'm worth to you, like 20 rupees." And he's like, "Oh, I meant 100 rupees. And he gives you 100, right? And then if you go back and talk to him, he's like, "Oh, man, I really messed up. Is there any way I can get that back?" And then she gets mad at him, like, "What are you doing asking for it back?" or whatever.
Yeah,
but it was funny. That's another one of those, like, something I thought as I was playing it that I didn't expect the game to do, and then the game does it. Like, it just taking me by surprise every single turn, like every chance it gets.
Can we talk about Base Bolson and his construction company?
Fucking Bolson. He's funny.
Bolson's great. I love the like when you're asking him to build all the things on your house and stuff, And these things all like, Carson, what are we? Studs of stud work, sir. That's right.
He has like a different motto. Like Carson's has a different motto every time. That was. I'm so glad I went back and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't finished my house yet, because that leads into like one of the best quests in the fucking game, which is Tarrytown. Or am I pronouncing it right? Tarrytown?
I guess so.
Let me see. I have the map here. Which is Tarrytown, because it's like I didn't even expect it to lead there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay off my house, and then I had heard that like that's a good way to keep like 6 extra weapons or whatever, like 3 extra weapons of each kind. So I was like, cool,
Which
I'm gonna do that.
Do you have in your house?
Oh, I have the sword from the Gerudo. I have like just a flame sword and an electric sword that does like, I think they both do like 48 damage each.
Okay, yeah, I have a flame, electric, and ice sword just because they'll look cool glowing.
Yeah, because it looks cool.
Exact same thing.
Just like
I
backup.
considered putting the champion weapons in there, but I've already broken like half of them, so I'm like, whatever.
I keep the boulder one on, the boulder breaker on me, because I like having that besides a hammer, because it works for the rocks and stuff. Right. When I was trying to like farm, but yeah, that scimitar thing, it looks cool, so I just put it up. I didn't want to use it. What else? But no, the Tarrytown quest is just like, holy fuck, I almost missed it. Like, if I wouldn't have finished my house, I wouldn't have done any of that.
Yeah, and the other cool thing is, so I thought I was playing it while my sister was watching, and we did, so I said we went to the Zora place first, and, did a little bit, like, just kind of talked to some of the people in Hatena, whatever, and then went back to do Gerudo, and in the Gerudo, there's someone named Rodson, right? I think Rodson.
Yeah, Rodson is the girl.
Yeah. And my sister was just like, oh, she could work at the construction company. It's like, you're right, yeah.
It was all planned.
And then later the game asked her for it, and like, what?
It's fucking insane. Oh, man, so much, like, thought went into it. And it's funny how, like, it seems so natural. Like, you pick up on those things, and it could or it couldn't. And then when it does, you're like, of course it fucking does. Like,
Yeah.
But, also, I'm happy for them. Spoilers again. They got married, right? But that's a weird name for a girl, Rodson. I was just like, Rod. Like, you have to call her Rod. Like, they could have named her anything else and ended it in son. Why Rodson?
Ruby Rod.
She was that was cool. Also, I've heard that there's like a cameo of, what is it, Miyamoto or something? But I haven't found him.
It's Iwata, I believe.
Oh, Iwata. I'm sorry, Iwata. But I haven't found him, and I know that someone says like he's like at the top of a mountain or something.
But I can't remember where.
Okay, I gotta keep an eye out for him, because that's pretty cool.
I've met a couple of people who, like, I forget. I know the story you're talking about, but I forgot which NPC it was. And since then, I've kind of been on the lookout, and I met a few who are like, look like you may be it, but
he mentioned something about leaving, I think, or something. He just kind of like walks away and disappears. I think. I'm not sure, but
I haven't had that.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
I guess I haven't.
But it's pretty cool for them to put it in. Couple tips. Let's talk tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks.
Yeah, let's talk Tips and Tricks magazine. Something I caught on to that I admittedly found online was a way to make money. How do you guys make money?
Mainly, I just...
What's that?
Mainly I just find, precious gems and stuff, but also at one point I realized that if you cook a bunch of meat together, it makes a lot of money worth of a dish.
Oh, to sell your dishes? What did you do?
I kind of just didn't.
I'm broke as fuck.
I haven't done the fourth fairy because I've never had that much money.
So I just did that today. My last fairy was in Gerudo. I don't know where y'all's was, but mine was the last one I did was in Gerudo.
Yeah, same.
And it's 10,000 rupees to unlock her.
It's a lot.
And I was like, I need to do this because I want to upgrade my tunic before I go fight Ganon, which I probably don't fucking need because there's like a speed run of someone doing it with like 4 hearts, right? But I'm like, I really want to do this, so I saved up the money. And the way I did it is somewhere in the Tabanthan, am I pronouncing Tabantha? Tabantha tundra. There's a snowball bowling. Have you guys found that?
No.
Is it the one where it has like all the grooves? Do you mean?
What do you mean grooves? No,
it's like a bunch of grooves in the ground for the snowballs to go down.
No. Yeah, well, it's a legit guy. I forgot his name, but you talk to him. He's got like a fro. Okay, you talk to him. He's got a fro, and he sets up these big bowling pins. They're like like statues, like they look
Uh-huh.
like moose or whatever. They're like these
Yeah.
big statues, and you roll a snowball down a hill,
Mhm.
and you try to hit it, right? So I don't know if it's a glitch or what, but the thing is, if you get a strike, you get a 300 rupees, right? A
Nice.
gold rupee, right? Every single time. The first time he'll give you an ice wand if you hit it. But there's a way to do it. If you target him, you stand behind him, and you throw the snowball at his head, and it bounces to the right of him and rolls down at the perfect angle, and it's always a strike. So you can just keep doing it, and 300 rupees, 300 rupees, 300 rupees.
Wow.
So it's when you miss it, kind of sucks because there's a lot of dialogue, so you kind of got to like get through it, and you get like 20 rupees back. But every time it hits, it's like 300 rupees. So I was like at 8,000, and I just fucking snowballed my way up to 10,000, and now I'm back at 100 rupees. But I'm like, it worth it because I upgraded. Well, that's the thing though. I did all that. I spent all that time doing that little cheat or whatever, tips and tricks. And then I fucking got the money. I went back to Gerudo, paid off the ferry, and then it's like I want to upgrade my shit. And the one thing I want to upgrade, I can't because I don't have any of the Pharaoh.
Right. You don't have
like shit. Yeah, I gotta go get the star fragments and all this shit.
Talk about those great fairies for a
second.
second.
Man, I know.
And those lewd ass animations.
Thick. Oh yeah.
I don't know what this is doing in my children's game, Nintendo.
And like every single fairy does takes it a step further.
Yeah.
Like one of them's like a little, they blow you a kiss. The next one like kisses her finger and puts it on your cheek. Then the third one straight up grabs you and kisses you. And the fourth one, spoilers to you guys if you haven't forgotten her, but she grabs you and takes you in the water. Like, was this rape? Like, what happened?
And then she pops out and she's doing like the ara.
Yeah, and you're like knocked out. Yeah, you're like on the floor.
My pelvis is broken.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but that's just another cool like little quirky thing. But yeah, I like their design. They're kind of like ugly on their face, but they're so thick that it doesn't matter. But
they should have called this game Thick of the Wild, right? Like,
God, there's so many thick.
The Gerudo.
Oh my
Zelda.
Long.
Garuda. Yeah. So characters. Out of the heroes, I know y'all's is probably Urbosa, right? Your favorite.
I would say so, but Mipha's cool too. She cool too.
I just like Mipha's story. It was like probably the most that made me feel something.
I felt
Urbosa's was epic. Like it was like fucking, like real like fucking actiony.
Yeah.
Because she was like the warrior, but Mipha's was like the sad one. The one who I didn't like was what's his name? The Rito? Oh god, what's his name?
Falco, you mean?
Yeah, Falco from Star Fox.
Yeah.
Just because he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's just an asshole, and maybe that's part of the reason why I didn't like the Rito one that much, is just because it felt like, with the Zora they had, the storyline to wrap it around, and same thing with Gerudo, and even with the Goron one, you at least had to, like, help that one, like, doughboy looking
the descendant of
Goron do something, like, you at least did stuff, but then for the Rito one, they're like, oh, hey, you should go find that guy, and then you just go 2 feet over and find him, and then he's like, all right, well, let's do it, and then you do it, and it's like, all right. There was no, like, it wasn't packaged, it wasn't wrapped around any sort of...
Yeah, they could have made it a little bit more deeper as far as the story.
It felt like whoever was in charge of that dropped the ball relatively compared to the others. Like, I don't know.
And the Rito are cool. Like, I think they're cool bird people and shit.
Yeah, and I love that their theme is, kind of remixing the Dragon Roost Island from Wind Waker.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. But
there's actually, to talk about lore, there's actually a theory. I mean, there's a whole bunch of theories about where in the timeline this
theory?
is. Yeah, kind of. There's actually a lot of clues about, I think, about as to where in the timeline or in what universe of Zelda this is in.
Okay.
But I think there's something, in Wind Waker, what's her name? The girl with the beak?
Medley?
Yeah, did you know she's part Zora?
Well, yeah. Well, that's the Zora evolved into the...
That's what, yeah, okay, I didn't know that they
Rito.
evolved into, the Rito, right?
Somehow.
Okay. So that was supposed to like be some kind of a clue for this game, but also there's something that the king says. Oh god, I'm blanking on it, and I was trying to remember on it for recording this, but he says something. He says like 3 things referencing 3 games.
Oh yeah,
did you hear that?
Is it the king or is it Zelda when she's like knighting Link?
She says when she's knighting him.
Oh, maybe something like whether skyward bound.
Yeah, you're right.
Steeped in shadow, or adrift in time, or something like that.
Something like that. Or Majora's Masked.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we get it, Zelda. Fucking calm down.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I mean, yeah. Okay, so that I mean, maybe there's something else that
like
bugged me
there
just a
was.
little
I
bit
just know
is
they were
the
talking about
idea
like the
that they
timeline.
talk about 10,000 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm all like, well, when the fuck is that supposed to be?
Yeah.
You know, is that supposed to come before anything else? Or are you saying that, like, after Wind Waker, then there was the
Yeah.
whole Sheikah Empire technology? Then 10,000 years later, this happened, and we're still, you know, doing the same stuff.
Yeah. Same
It's
song and
one of those
dance.
like
Yeah.
this game was not meant, I don't think, to fit on a timeline, and Nintendo is going to be regretting forever that they gave any credence to the timeline theory people, because they're going to continue to make games that are imagined as standalone titles, and then people are going to demand that they put them in the chronology. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I guess here can go here, but it doesn't really.
Yeah, I think this one sort of threw that out. It's like,
Yeah.
it's 10. It's like, probably up to 11,000 years after any of the others. It's like, we don't really give a shit.
Yeah,
about
it's
your
like
theory.
forget all that. We're just gonna draw from it wherever we want, and none of that shit matters.
Which I think is,
I mean, it works.
yeah, which I think is fine. I do enjoy when they have games that the Zelda games that have acted as semi sequels, like how Majora's Mask follows up Ocarina. That's nice.
Mhm.
You get a little 2-game thing, or Phantom Hourglass followed up Wind Waker. That's cool. But there's no need to connect the whole thing. I'm fine with each Zelda game just being like another retelling, another of the same general legend and structure of story and characters. I'm fine with it just being like, oh, let's see how they remix it this time.
Yeah, what changes is like the gameplay and the actual world and stuff.
Yeah.
Which brings me to something else I want to talk about, which is moving forward from here. How would you guys respond to the next Zelda game like not being like this? Like, what if they went back to like kind of traditional, like, would you think they could do it? Like, would it be received bad in your opinion? Would it, like, do they have to keep doing open world like this? Which, by the way, I mean, it's cool because I don't, let me say that I don't think I can go to any other open world game now, like, without expecting this. Like, I boot up Horizon and like I can't climb mountains.
Yeah,
like I can't.
I'm
I get
boot
this.
up another game, and I'm just gonna like make a running leap at a wall.
Yeah,
and
everything just
fall
seems
down,
so much more like trapped. Like I get this feeling of like, okay, I'm literally on rails. Even if it's like an open world game, like a Watch Dogs or something, it still doesn't feel the same because you really can't do everything that you can do in Zelda. Like this sets such a precedent. But as far as Zelda goes, could they go back? Could they go back from here, or like?
I think they definitely can, because Zelda has gone back and forth all the time.
Yeah,
like a link between worlds. You could do the dungeons in any order.
Right,
And that came
right.
on the heels of Skyward Sword being like the most linear game they've ever made, and they've done ones where you don't even have an overworld at all. You just sail on a boat.
right. Yeah,
And I'm not talking about Wind Waker even. I'm talking about like the Phantom Hourglass, where you literally just say, "I'll go to this island," and then you just go to the island. And there's no stuff in between. So I think they can always say, all right, this was our open world game. Now next one is our whatever game. And they can do that, but I do think that this is so good and has been received so well. And also, this is what's the word? The paradigm now. This is what people expect. When people say,
right.
I want
This
a
is like
AAA game, this is what they're imagining.
Yeah, this is going to become like the next, like the new norm for what that's what I'm saying is like it's going to be hard for any open world game who isn't already thinking we have to try to do that now. Like, we should do that, because if we don't, it's just going to fail, because everything's going to be compared to this. People are going to be talking about this game for the rest of our lives, probably, as far as like going back.
I really think so. And let's see. So I guess the thing is like, so what can they do to it? Well, like I said, they could make it more dungeony. I think a direction they could go is say, all right, we'll make the world like 80% as big. We'll shrink the world a little bit because we'll commit more time to putting in, double, like instead of, there'll be 8 beasts. They won't be beasts. They'll be whatever the hell, but, double that amount of stuff. Or maybe double, put more effort into other areas.
Yeah.
I think that they this has a great balance, but if they wanted to, they could choose to emphasize certain parts or maybe put more effort into combos in the combat, because I enjoy the combat, but I remember Twilight Princess where you had other things and finishing moves, and you could sword plant on enemies and had different enemy specific counters and stuff.
Yeah, I think the answer lies in mixing it up and also kind of going back while going forward, where it's you can implement a lot of some of the old style of it into this kind of thing. But I think the answer would probably be split, have this run as a series, not, it wouldn't be Breath of the Wild 2, but it's this style of open world game will come again in another game, another Zelda game, but they'll go back to a 3DS game and make something new there, or they'll make a new Switch game that's top down, and then return back to this is the next Zelda open world game,
Yeah. Now you know what I do want to see though, hook shots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think especially the dual hook shot sort of system from the more recent games where you can Spider-Man.
That'd be so cool in Breath of the Wild, the Spider-Man around
that
places.
Would totally fit. For sure. Because hook shots, I like how they're kind of limited about they only work on wood, so you can't just cheese your way everywhere. But there's enough forest and stuff in this game, I see that tree up there. Let me zip up real quick. Let me go over here, and one mountain wall could have little wooden panels just randomly spaced, and before you get the hook shot, you're that's weird. I wonder what that's for.
Yeah, and even just having that changes so much. Imagine all the shrines they could do with it, or they could make different little parts in the dungeons
set something on fire and then hook shot it and swing it around at people.
So many little mechanics. So hopefully, I mean, obviously there's a whole well of ideas, but just moving forward, it's weird how to think about now going back to an old Zelda game, but let's see what they do.
Yeah, so I had brought this up before but got off it, but this compared to Wind Waker, which I have said in the past is my favorite, but there's so many areas of the things that I liked in Wind Waker that this does even better.
Yeah.
Right? So one of my favorite things about Wind Waker was how enemies would drop weapons and you could pick them up. Well, that's this game entirely. But, even more, because you don't just pick them up and then have to leave them when you leave the room. No, you pick them up and they're your inventory now. And the thing about Wind Waker, to me, that felt like the most open and adventurous Zelda, where I could just see something cool on the horizon and sail towards it. And in here, we've talked about that. It's that thing, except there's actually interesting shit happening on my way to that destination.
Yeah, in between.
And I find other things, whereas Wind Waker was a lot of empty...
water.
Yeah, empty water that is not... It's tolerable for me. Some people hate it. I thought it was fine, but it's certainly nowhere near as interesting as even just going through a field in Breath of the Wild. And... so it's things like that. And the other cool thing is just how there's so many towns that all feel like they're inhabited. Because that's a rare thing for me in video games.
I know,
video game towns.
Yeah.
To actually feel like a place anyone would really live. But in here, Gerudo Town feels very functional. This is totally a little desert town. And then, of course, the Hatena and Kakariko are both super comfy.
What's the other one? Laurelfin or Laurelin?
Yeah, Laurelin.
Yeah, the beach one. The towns were really cool. Let's talk about music.
Okay.
I was surprised. I remember when the trailers came out and stuff, and gameplay came out, and I tried to go radio silent on it, I didn't want to watch too much, but a lot of people were complaining about the lack of overworld theme.
Right. And
I remember thinking oh, that's kind of weird. But now I'm that would ruin it. I love the fact that it's so solemn. this game has such a tone to it that's just very sad. For a majority, there's a lot of parts where it's upbeat and you're in the desert and on top of a mountain and the vistas like you said. But for the most part, it's rainy. It's somber. There's just piano key music. Yeah, exactly.
It's like being at home.
It rains at the worst fucking times too. You're like in the middle of a cliff and like no.
Or like it's more that happened to me where I'm jumped off of something big and I'm sailing. I'm planning on climbing up, and then it rains while I'm in midair. And I'm like, oh shit.
Another mechanic for those who don't know is when it rains, you basically can't climb shit because you're sliding down every jump or every.
Watch the weather. There's a little weather indicator in the bottom that I didn't realize about until I was like 40 hours in, and I was like, oh, that's what that's for.
Yeah, well, and I was like, oh, does that show how fast I'm running? Oh no, it's a thermometer. It's like, oh, I'm almost on empty. Oh no, that just means it's cold.
It's Link's gas.
No, too many fucking mighty bananas. No,
So
the music is just, it's like, when looking up who the composer, she's the one who did a lot of the Animal Crossing, New Leaf, and some other stuff.
That explains so much.
Yeah, it's very like light and it's emotional music, but it's not like heavy as far as like grandiose like strings and stuff. But there are what she did, I really do respect and I love is that she took old themes and just barely put them in new songs. Like you won't hear the main theme of Zelda unless you're riding your horse at night for a long distance, and even then, it's just like it barely comes in and then it goes out, and then you're back to the whatever.
So you said that you've been to Hyrule Castle enough to get the memories in it.
Yeah,
right?
that song is like
that song is lit. And to me, that was the first time that I had heard. I guess I had never triggered the one when you're horse riding before.
Yeah,
so. I thought that was great as sort of like the final endgame thing where you're playing. I'm like, oh yeah,
which is funny
is.
because it doesn't. That's the crazy part about it.
Zelda's theme is mixed in there too, and there's also
it doesn't have to be the end though. That's what's insane about it. It's like someone could go through that after doing like one dungeon, and it'd be hard, and you'd probably fuck up unless you're really good or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that's what's crazy about it. They give you complete freedom, and what it is you getting the balls to go and do it. Like it's really about like growing up in a way in the game where it's like
there's never a part where they hold your hand. You're like, no, this is off limits.
Yeah, exactly.
After you get outside of the plateau
yeah,
area, which makes sense to me that they because that plateau is like a microcosm of the whole game. I'm 100% sure that they made that plateau before they did anything else.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like the perfect tutorial. Just walking out of the resurrection place.
Slice is literally what it is. It's because it's got all the different ecosystems. It's got all the mechanics, and honestly, just that alone, you could put 10 hours in. I bet easily to like do that and it is super densely packed in there and stuff.
You got your mountains, you're cold, you got your heat, you got your shrine, you got a couple shrines, you've got
shrines, you've got
tower.
The various mechanics, you've got, teaches you that you need to hunt.
The only thing that sucks is you don't have your glider before you finish it, because I didn't realize how important the little parasail thing would be.
I guess that's true. Yeah, it doesn't give you that, but it's like if you, if even though we've talked about how like the weapon durability feels a lot worse in the tutorial thing, which is kind of true.
Yeah.
But it's sort of that really does give you a good idea of what the rest of the game will be like. That sense of that sort of gameplay just continues. Like the rest of the game is just all right, it's that, but expanded. Just
it's
everything funny of that, but more. So
thinking back to the Great Plateau, I remember like coming across my first Guardian, the one that's like in the ground, like somewhere by the Temple of Time.
Yeah,
and I remember like trying to beat it, and, like throwing the bombs at it, and like running around hiding, and then dying, and then throwing. And I'm like, fuck this! Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, this is dumb. And now I'm just like, I'll just go with a shield and then reflect him, and he'll be fucking dead. Like, it's crazy how you really do kind of like grow up as the character. Yeah. Like you obviously you get better weapons and stuff, but not only that, you went learning about how the world works and how these mechanics work.
But it's also like a good lesson that you don't have to kill it.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't been back. Like, you just go. Just keep going.
Just run. You don't have to fight every enemy you see is not a conflict you have to take.
Yep.
One time I came up upon a moblin, the big ones, and a bokoblin, and they're both sitting at a campfire and like talking to each other. Like the big one will say some stuff, then it'll wait, and the little one will respond. And I was like, oh man, that's cute. So I just hit him with the freeze rod, ran up and took the chest, and then ran off and just let him like, they'll be fine.
Yeah, just go on.
I don't need to fight these guys. Oh, they're having a father-son moment.
Yeah, it's so funny. When you blow up their crates, they go for the food. Like, if there's food that comes out and then, like, get distracted. That's pretty cool. So many little details, man. God, this game.
And the Yiga clan when they're fucking bananas.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
they love their bananas.
they're
And
so fucking
I was
obsessed
going
with
King
bananas.
K. Rool in there.
It's pretty cool
Still
too.
their banana horde?
Once you defeat the master or whatever, Kugo or whatever his name is, they all reference him.
Yeah.
Like before that, they don't mention him at all. They're just like, "Oh, it's time for you to die." And by the way, the first time it happened, creeped the fuck out of me. I was like, because you know how like they're just regular hidden, like
yeah,
you know
they
they're
look like
disguised,
regular people.
and then they make like a weird smile, and then like they attack you, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" But yeah, yeah, they all reference him. They're the master. After you kill them, they're like, you know, this is for master or whatever. And it's like, oh wow, they all change what they say, and now they appear out of fucking nowhere sometimes. After you beat them,
no warning. They just
they're just there. Like you just hear the music, and they're this fucking.
Sometimes it happens to me when I'm paragliding. I just hear that poof, and the music starts. I'm like, I'm not fighting you. I'm in the air. Like, catch me if you can, bitch.
God, when the piano from the Guardian that like I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? Where is it? Like I'm running away trying to get up a tree. Like holy shit. Yeah, that piano music is scary as fuck.
Has anyone done the dungeon in the top right-hand corner of the world? I mean, the
labyrinth?
Labyrinth?
I think I did that one. I did the top two. I haven't done the bottom, the Garuda one.
But the part at the very end where you drop down.
Oh, you dropped down, dude.
Right.
Okay, I fucked up because I was like, you dropped down, and I was like, I'm gonna loot all these things. I was like, no, I'm gonna go open the chest. And I was like, maybe I should loot them because something's gonna happen. I was like, nah, fuck it. I open the chest, and then they all fucking wake up. And like, God damn it, what? I should have gone and gotten all their screws and shit, and I didn't even fucking think about it.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't know, you can use the Sheikah slate if you use the camera, you know, and it'll tell you whether or not they're alive.
What?
Oh, really?
Because you can look at it, and if it's just not alive, you know, it won't show you anything. But if it's a working one, then
it'll tell you their name.
Their status is like
okay.
Ruined Guardian, I think, is whatever enemy class they technically are.
I did not know
it's got a
that.
different entry for like a Stalker Guardian and a Ruined Guardian.
God, so many things in this game.
Yeah, no, I've been going Pokemon Snap on this. You know, ever since I got the camera, which I missed because I got the camera late. I did the first 2 beasts before I got the camera, just because I felt like skipping it because the game made a point as if you ought to go to Kakariko.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I'll not do that. Screw you. But I mean, like, I didn't follow through with that whole side quest at first, but so that means that I missed having a camera. You get a picture of those bosses.
Yeah, I filled up my camera with nothing but Riju. Cross those legs for me, baby.
Mine's basically like half full of pictures of dragons, like looking majestic as shit.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Do
you guys remember the first time you saw the dragon, or like you experienced the fucking dragons?
Because I was just going over the Lake Highlight Bridge. It just appears out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
I thought that was a boss battle. I was like, I shouldn't be here.
It's just a wandering dragon.
But then it's just like, it's just fuck. You just sit and chill, and like there's wind, and then the music, the little Japanese music comes in. So like, holy fuck, you feel like it's majestic. Like, and then without even knowing what it did, I was like, okay. When I thought I was ready, I was like, I'm gonna try to trigger this boss battle, whatever the fuck. And then I shot an arrow, and then like something flies off, and I'm like, oh okay, I'm gonna go pick that up. But then as soon as you start shooting, the little orbs come at you. Like, it's like, oh fuck you. I know you want my toenail, but you're gonna get fucked if you stand there. But yeah, man, the dragons were so cool. Like, I don't know, I didn't even know that was in there. Like,
how about, have you guys found the Lord of the Mountain?
Yeah. Is he the one that's stuck?
No.
The glowing one.
Yeah, it's like a Aurora, whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, Borealis.
That.
I have not done that.
Okay, well, it's on Satori Mountain at night. If you just like look at it and you see that it's glowing, then you can go over there and find it. And it's like a Princess Mononoke ass.
Holy shit!
It's really
what the fuck? I'm gonna go do that as soon as we end this. Another thing that's cool was the what was I gonna say? Oh, horses. Have you guys seen the horse god or whatever?
I haven't yet. I haven't done it.
Okay. Do you mean the giant horse?
Yeah, the horse. The lake of the horse god or whatever.
Okay, well, hold on, because there's that, and then there's also just literally a giant horse.
What?
I've seen it online.
There's just not like 10 foot. There's just he's like 10 feet tall. He's just a huge horse.
Holy fuck! I have not seen a giant horse, but the Lake of the Horse God is actually kind of like a great fairy.
Oh,
but
okay.
they look like a horse. They have like a horse mask, but it's literally just for if they revive your horses if one of your horses dies or you lose them.
Nice.
But I don't know if you guys have any amiibo. I don't have any of the ones from Breath of the Wild, but I have the original Zelda or the one from Smash, like actual Zelda. And I mean Zelda. I'm sorry, Link and Zelda's green hat. No, I have Link and about my second stable in, it gave me Epona, so I have not had a horse since then. I was like trying to catch a black horse and like with 4 what do you call it, like
stamina.
Yeah, stamina. But then it gave me Epona, which is like maxed out everything. So I was like, well, fuck this. I'm just gonna use Epona for forever. So I've just been using Epona. So when I thought it was a great fairy, I was like, fuck yeah, I found a great fairy. But it was that horse god thing, and I was like, oh, damn it.
I mean, I've been using the royal horse the entire time.
There's a royal horse?
Yeah, man. Do you even do side quests?
Holy shit.
I have that side quest, but I haven't bothered to get it. I captured a few horses and my sister got to name them, so my horses are named things like, I don't know, like Henry Sparks and Cumberbatch and stuff like that, and actors she likes and things like, I don't know. But
yeah, naming is the hardest part.
The thing about horses is that I feel like they're so hard to control for me.
Yeah,
maybe it's just me, and maybe my horses are shit.
Well, they'll stay to the path if you just leave it alone. If you just,
but I never want to be on a path.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Doing other things.
That's what makes it awkward.
But also, that's where Epona comes in, fucking like 100 awesome, because it's like, well, the worse they are at, like, or the least you are bonded with them, the more that they're kind of sporadic and they'll go everywhere. But Epona doesn't do that because they're set 100. So like, she doesn't,
right.
Yeah. So it won't go off the path. It'll like jump over things. Like
nice.
like manually, like it'll just do it, and also it'll climb up most mountains like that are inclined, where other horses will just stop and they're like, they'll neigh or whatever, they don't want to go. Epona will fucking just like, okay, cool, we're going up this fucking mountain now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it really helped, but I kind of wish I hadn't gotten it because I haven't fucked with any other horses.
Yeah,
but yeah, God, even the horses in the game are cool. And then too, like I said, I was talking about the music. When I heard that theme, I was like, oh, this is where it is. And I was, and I thought I was like writing somewhere specific. Like I thought I was like, oh, I must be getting close to something like something important, like Hyrule Castle or something. But it just happens when you're just writing at night. Like what a it's kind of a daring decision to put it in there, but at the same time, it's like, wow, that's fucking cool because you didn't expect it. Like you're just riding around in a field at night and it looks cool with the moon and everything, and then that theme comes on and you're just like, holy shit, like this is nothing, but it's important because I'm experiencing it, like it's pretty cool.
And I also just love how you're going around and you hear that comforting stable theme. You're like, oh, I know there's,
Oh yeah, and Cass. Dude, Cass themes is cool because you just hear the fucking accordion.
That guy's legit. Why wasn't that guy up in the Rito stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
Instead, we had to deal with dumbass Falco,
Crybabies,
another dude whose name I forgot.
That dude, I was like, this is okay. I knew for a fact that he was gonna be something, and he ended up going to Tarrytown. But he was like, oh, I have bigger problems. I don't want to take care of the store with my mom. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. You sound like such a whiny little bitch. And then I was like, oh, that's the dude. I know that's the fucking dude. I went straight to him when he asked for a Rito to sell things. I was like, yeah, there, go, leave, be happy.
I remembered him, but I couldn't remember where the fuck he was.
I just remember he was the only one sitting his ass down. He was the only fucking bird sitting his ass down. Just like,
lazy bird.
I don't want to be here. I hate my mom. Like, oh my god, get over yourself. Yeah, so, but back to the music. What's y'all's favorite song? Because other than the main theme, let me just say mine real quick because I remember it. I don't know if you guys have one in mind, but mine is actually in Rito, which is funny, but it's at night.
Rito Town at night?
Yeah, Rito Town at night because it's like, God, it's just such a good mix. And it's actually, like, looking at the OST, it's actually one of the only songs that is, like, pretty long. Like, a lot of them are short. This one's like a 5-minute song, like an actual straight through. So a lot of the other ones are kind of short. Other than the villages are kind of long. But yeah, Rito at night is a really good theme. What stands out to you, like, music wise? At least tell me the area if you don't know what the song is called or whatever.
The finished Tarrytown.
Oh yeah, finished Tarrytown is great. That's another cool thing is that the instruments go and getting added by people you get. So like when you get the Goron, it's like adds the trumpet, like like that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, that was gonna be mine, but I also just really like Hatena Town. I think.
Oh yeah, at night is another good. The night ones are really good for me. I don't know why I love the night ones.
Extra chill.
Yeah,
they're really cool.
But I just like, I think Hatena Town might be just my favorite town because it feels like a nice little village, and there's lots of people, like the kids running around, doing shit, and dudes working in their fields, and you got your little house there, like you own property,
Yeah.
and stuff. So, and then of course there's good old Pura working on lab shit, throwing peace signs and stuff.
Yeah. The music for the labs are pretty cool too.
I think the labs in general is really neat.
Yeah. What else was I going to ask you guys? Shrines. Did we talk about shrines? I found a shrine today, just right now before I stopped playing. Was one that you have to be there during a blood moon without any clothes on.
What?
Yeah. And it's a shrine quest. Actually, you hear it's one I heard Cass, like his little accordion thing or whatever, and I glided over to where I thought he was, and he was. I guess it's like his house, because it's like on top of like a flat.
I know which one you mean.
Yeah, and he has like a book in there, a journal of all the ones that you found so far.
Yep.
And so like there's a thing right under him, and the song he sings says like, when the moon bleeds, something like but something like you can't have anything between you and the night air. So like it has to be during a blood moon, and you have to stand on that circular thing without any clothes on. So I'm just like, I saved there, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back and like I'm gonna build a fire and wait until the fucking blood moon to do the shrine, or else I'll forget to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I haven't found that one yet. Let's see. I like the.
There's so much cool shit I'm trying to remember, like just surprising things that took me off guard.
Yeah.
Like okay, I already said the island one was really cool, especially because that was the first one that I found that wasn't. Yeah, that was like an overworld shrine quest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a few of them like that in the game, but that was the first one that I had stumbled to, so I didn't even know that was a thing. So when the voice talked to me, I was like, wait, you can do that? I didn't go into a shrine yet. What?
Did you guys find that dragon one? I mean, it's like in the palmy area, like the place where it's like jungle. There's one like that says something. It's another cast one that you find like the mouth of the dragon or something like that.
Oh right, yeah, I've spoken to him there, and I think I know where it is, but I haven't gone to
I did one in there where you have to get lightning to strike on top of a rock.
Yeah, I've done that one.
I did that one. That one was pretty fucking cool. But I just gotten the last beast that I did was the Mifa one, so I got the Mifa's Grace, and that shit killed me, and I was like, oh, thank God I have that, or else I'd be dead because I
I had got the Thunder Helm from the Gerudos.
So, you can get the Thunder Helm?
Yeah, man, you can get the Thunder Helm. You gotta if you keep on talking to her about the talk at the helm, then you'll get a side quest that'll eventually do it. But first you have to do all the other side quests in Gerudo Town.
Oh shit!
It's part of it. She's basically like, here, you can have the hat if you solve everything else that's wrong with my town.
Oh my God, I gotta go back to Gerudo. Yeah, there's so much shit to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I guess did we talk about who's best girl?
God, Zelda. No, Mifa. No, Zelda isn't best girl, but Zelda isn't best girl. But there's such a oh man, I'm because I haven't done it yet, because I haven't saved her. Every time I talk to what's her name in Impa and Kakariko is I was like, she's waiting for you, and I'm like, I fucking know, but there's all this other shit I gotta do. You don't understand? I only have 100 Korok seeds. I'm probably ready, but I'm not ready. But I feel bad because you look there and you're like, yeah, she's in there. Fucking, she's been there for 100 years fighting Ganon, and you're like, yeah, whatever. I gotta make some recipes and shit. Yeah, okay. I'll be fine.
Gotta find these little leaf fuckers.
I gotta get more weapons. You don't understand.
Mm.
What was I saying about
best girl? Come on.
Oh, best girl. Yeah, I guess I'll go Mifa.
Mifa?
Okay. Mifa. I just her color scheme is so cool, because with the blue sash, and she's all bright red, and the story was just oh man, you feel for her.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah. The only downside is that she's a fish. She's actually a fucking fish, so
I don't know if that's a downside, man. Fucking look, that smoothness.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Slide right in.
Yeah, I would say Mifa is probably, I'm drawn to her most.
I'll go with here's the thing is
Riju?
I would say Urbosa, but actually the real answer just be random Gerudo females. It's like one of the Gerudo ladies who's pining for a Voe or Voe.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Voe. I always say Voe.
Voe? Yeah, I guess I assumed they were 2-syllable things, but yeah, one of those. Like, man, why can't I be as lucky as Hudson? You know what I'm saying? So
Hudson, you bastard.
Just like random Gerudo, just anyone.
Just build her a house.
Yeah, I just need to build her a house and impress her with my mining skills and flexing and stuff.
You just got to get to fix up your sweaty ass clothes. Get her in no time.
Yeah,
make more holes in your shirts.
Yeah.
There's this one. This is so stupid to talk about, but again, like little parts of this game that I remember that grabbed me in weird ways. Is there's this one spot where you like climb up a hill and there's a girl up there making a fire. Have you gotten to that? Have you seen that? Or she's just sitting at a fire and she's like, you never know what you'll see from like a higher point of view or whatever. And she's like, you're welcome to stay with me here and like and you can eat some of this food and whatever, stay. And I'm just like, I could stay here. Like, this could be my life. Let's just fucking hang out on this hill. Fuck Zelda. Me and you. You're cute. It's cool. I got steak. I'll go get steak for us. Just fucking eat.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Go hunt. I got steak. We're set.
Yeah, it's like, but then that's like, she's like right in dead set, kind of like guardian territory. So I'm like, oh fuck you, bitch. I'm out. Like, good luck. Like, you could stay here. I don't want to fucking get lasered to death.
What about the one little Zora chick that you hook up with that other dude?
Little Zora chick?
Oh yeah.
The little girl. She looks like she's got the child model, but she's actually an adult. She just hasn't had her growth spurt yet, or whatever.
Jesus, we got to tread lightly here. What are we talking about? Like, there's a van outside my house.
Watch yourselves. But
there's a sushi van outside my house.
But she's been like sending love letters downstream, and you basically just have to find the guy who's been like responding to them. And
is it like a Hillian?
Yeah, it's a dude. You just bring this dude up there, and they hook up, and it's great.
Right down, yeah.
Amazing.
So something we haven't talked about, but it feels like the rest of the internet is talking about, is the Fish Prince.
Oh, Sidon.
Right.
Oh man, he's fucking cool.
Yeah, he's a bro.
Yeah, when I met him, he was like, he's so inspiring. Like, I know you can do it. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah,
you're awesome. Yeah, he was. I can see why he became a fucking like meme and shit. Like, he took off, but like there's some characters that you can tell they just like put a lot into, you know. And then there's like Goron boy who like, okay, Doughboy, like you said, like, okay, I'll help you, but it's like,
yeah, the Gorons. I feel like the Gorons are just maybe the worst all around, just because.
Cutest thing in the game is Goron kids, though. Cutest fucking thing in the game is Goron kids with their little hats.
Are fucking cute. The little Rito babies and stuff, and yeah, the Goron kids rolling around, and all the kids are cute and want to adopt them. But
yeah, the Goron kids with their little hats and they're like working. Like the one that you take to Tarrytown, like he has like it's like his little brother. He's like, we're leaving, and he's like, okay, and he like just starts walking towards him, like, let's fucking go.
I like the little Goron kid that tries to scam you all the time.
Oh yeah, he's like,
you really need this potion, sucker.
Yeah, and then like he whispers the what do you call the ingredients that you need. Yeah, it's like all it is like fucking Goron spice and a little lizard or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
like, well then I don't need you, you shitty little kid.
Yeah, and every time you're like, no, he's like, well, fuck you too.
Yeah, he's like, well, fine, whatever, go burn.
I hope you get sunburned, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool too, the way that they like we said, there's really no limit to where you can go, but there are, and that's elements. Like, you can't really go somewhere in the fire, like, you know, without getting the. But you could, because you could just craft a shit ton of food, and then just keep taking it. You know,
always craft enough. It's like when you get to the area, you know, there is going to be the clothes to help you through it.
Yeah, it makes it easier, so you don't have to worry about it, but you don't really need it. You know.
Yeah.
Do you guys know?
Imagine doing the beast with just the food.
Oh shit! Do you guys know if in Gerudo Town you can go in afterwards in whatever after you did the beast, or you still have to wear the stuff?
You still have to wear the stuff.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's still hot.
It is a little dumb, but that's why you gotta. I spending too much time debating over color schemes.
Oh,
right?
same. And not only that, like I'll change clothes depending on where I'm at, no matter, even if it needs me to. Like
Yeah,
if
exactly. Like,
I'm
I'm
just
trying
like
to look
fucking
fashionable.
fashion of the wild here. Like that's all I do is like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
looks best.
So like one of the what I found that looks really good actually is the barbarian helm on top of the Rito feather
Oh yeah.
clothes,
Right,
because
right.
it's all
Yeah.
got that kind of red and white color scheme going. That looks good.
I only have the barbarian helm and the legs. I don't have the thing because I don't. Those are all labyrinth, right? I only have
Yeah.
two done. Yeah.
I've only got
I
the
haven't
chest
found
piece.
the legs or the chest yet. I'll have to
Yeah.
get
I need the
those.
chest, and I have the
Also,
diamond.
the fucking glow in the dark skeleton luchador outfit.
I have the. I bought all that. Yeah.
I haven't got that one yet, but I've seen it.
I
That's
use that. Okay, that part that I was telling you guys about earlier in those other woods that are really dark. That really comes in handy there because it kind of gives a little bit more light.
Nice.
Yeah, so, and it looks really cool because it's all dark and you just see like the skeleton. So I'm like, wow, this like worked out perfect. I'm glad I had it. I just bought it because I was like, oh, it looks cool.
Yeah.
But I had never had a use for it other than when I was in those woods.
I also took the Hylian tunic and hood and I dyed them green. Not the pants.
right.
I left the pants tan.
Throwback to Zelda.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Old
I
Zeldas.
can have the classic look because as far as I can tell, there isn't like straight up.
The green cap and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or at
so
least I
yeah,
haven't
that
found it.
comes through amiibos because I have them.
Oh,
you have like there's the Twilight Princess hat, there's the Wind Waker hat, there's the they're called
yeah.
different things like the cap of the Wind Hero or whatever the
Right.
fuck cap of the Twilight
So
Hero.
I think you get it from doing all of the shrines. I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got that.
You know, this Link doesn't need it. He's got
Yeah,
his champion's
yeah.
tunic. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's all you really need. And I'm trying to upgrade that piece of shit, and I need fucking star fragments or whatever the fuck.
I've been rocking the soldier helm, soldier leggings, and the champion's tunic like the whole time.
I really like the leggings. I like the Zora armor except for the helmet.
Cool.
I think the helmet looks stupid, but like the rest of it was really cool.
all of my Zora armor red so I can stand next to my fish bro and just be like, yeah, we match. What up?
6 feet
One of the
versus
rats.
5'9".
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, guys, is there anything else you guys want to point out before we move on? Before we wrap up our Breath of the Wild talk? Anything you can think of at all? No holds barred.
No one else can say like the whole. You see that mountain? You can climb it.
Yeah, exactly.
You fucking can.
You literally can.
And not like bullshit Skyrim climate where you're like clipping through mountains, like trying to get up. Like this is like legit. Like
Yeah, you'll legit climb up the side of that cliff.
God, I'm telling, it's just gonna change video games forever. And I encourage anyone out there who made it this far listening who isn't playing it for some reason to try. I know it's a lot to ask to get a Switch because I don't even have one yet, and I know that if you didn't have a Wii U, you know, it kind of like why would you? You don't like any other Nintendo exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
But do not sleep on this game if at all possible. Like,
yeah, it's kind of crazy that I don't know if you've seen this before, but the game has like a 95% attach rate on the Switch.
yeah, I mean, yeah. What else do you buy? Like,
Yeah, you don't buy
Right, it's like there's
Snipper
nothing
clips.
else
That's
to
not
buy.
really fun, by
But
the way.
when you think about it, it's not a packaged-in game. You know, it's not like Super Mario 64 that came with every N64. It's not like Wii Sports that came with every Wii. You know, and this is something that I like when the Switch was coming out. I was like, Nintendo, what are you doing? Why don't you have a package-in title? And like, we know that everyone's going to buy Zelda anyway. We don't even have to package it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean,
they were
like-
right. This is the definition of a system seller. Even though it's also on Wii U. That's because no one has a Wii U. So.
Yeah.
It's because they could charge the 80 quid.
Exactly.
If you wanted to get
people
the limited
gonna pay
edition,
it,
which I
and-
did get. The sword
good,
collection's
yeah.
kind of cool. But
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say they took a gamble and they panned out. They won at least for the most part. Like I remember their E3 or whatever when they were like, "We're just gonna show Zelda. We're just gonna have a Zelda." I was like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" But now I wish like, oh my god, that's all you need. Like, fuck yeah, Zelda's amazing. Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it took them long enough, and I guess maybe that's sort of the thing when you consider like, well, what will they do next? It's like, well, that'll be 5 years from now, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see
gonna be a
what
long
position Nintendo is in hardware wise.
Yeah.
5 years from now, if the Switch
Speaking of
will have taken off or where we'll be at. But I would absolutely, like, I can already tell that I intend to get the DLC if it's Like you said, if it's actually substantial, if it's just the hard mode or more items, I really don't care about that. But if it's actual content, I'm enjoying this engine so much, I would absolutely pay more money to get more game and more game like this.
Do more shit. Yeah, well then that's gonna wrap us up, guys. As far as Breath of the Wild goes, what was I gonna say? Like I said earlier, if anyone hasn't played this, I'm not saying that if you don't have a Nintendo console, you should try to play it on PC. I'm not telling you that because that's illegal. But I would also tell you that if that was my only way to play it, I would do it. I think it's worth it. But anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. Let's take a break, and we're gonna come back and play a real quick 20 comfy questions. And yeah, we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're gonna play 20 comfy questions. There's only 2 contestants today, and I have a game. You guys have 20 questions to guess what game I'm thinking of, and you have 20 questions to ask yes or no, 20 yes or no questions, and on your 21st you have to guess. Okay, you both only get the same guess. You don't get 2 separate guesses, so you have to come to an agreement about what game you're gonna guess. So, who wants to start off? Go ahead and ask me a yes or no question.
Let's see. I'll go first. Is it a console game?
The question is, was this game released on a console?
Was this game originally released on a console?
Originally, or was it released on a console?
Is this a console exclusive game?
No. That's one. Well,
good start. Was this game released before 2010?
Hold on, let me make sure. No, it was not released before 2010.
So it's a recent multiplat. Is it an action game?
Action. Ooh, genres are hard. Yeah, I would say it's an action game. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's an action game.
It's always bad at this sort of thing. There's so many options. Is it... I guess, is it Japanese?
Japanese developed?
Yeah.
No, it is not Japanese developed game.
Mm-hmm.
Poon. This is 5.
Okay. Is it a primarily single-player game?
Yes. Yes, it is. Primarily single player. Well.
Also, just remember that he had to look up the stuff about 2010, so that means that it's not.
It's probably.
It's not like came out last year because he'd remember. It's
very smart, guys. Pretty sneaky. Well, you got a question. You're only 6 in. Let's waste some.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, is it futuristic? I guess, like setting.
Oh, I would say no. The setting doesn't evoke futuristic styles. I'm waiting for like one game where someone just fucking snipes it. Like, is it this? Like, oh fuck, how? Ferry got pretty close on one of them.
So just like, is it Glover? Shit.
Yeah, like shit. How did you know? Are you hacking me? Poon.
Let's see. Is it the... Let's see. Was it... rephrase this. I want to ask if it was like a new IP. Yeah, was it a new IP when it, launched?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not. So that means then that it isn't an entry in an older one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a very good question. I don't think anyone's asked that yet. That was 7.
7. We're not even halfway there. We can.
Nope.
Yeah. I guess to lead off from that one, has there been a sequel since?
Oh, no, there has not been a sequel since this game released.
Okay. All right. That throws out. I was going to think Mirror's Edge or something like that, though I can't remember if that fits in the time frame. But I was thinking something.
Don't think so. I'm not even sure.
It's Mirror's Edge is probably older actually, but anyway, that doesn't count because it has a sequel clearly. Let's see. Okay, so hold on. So to recap, it is a Western action game that's a standalone. This is the only game in its series that was released to both console and PC sometime after 2010, but probably not
Probably
in like
earlier.
probably on the earlier side of that.
Yeah.
We would imagine.
Yes, all of that checks out.
Okay.
You're on your 9th question.
Yeah.
I forget whose turn it is, but it doesn't matter. You guys can just ask whenever.
I think it's mine.
Okay.
You guys could find out developer. You guys could find out. Style, genre. You guys could find out music.
Okay. Well, I guess I asked it's an action game, so I'll try and get more specific. Is it a first-person shooter?
No, it's not a first-person shooter. This is not a first-person shooter. That's 9. Oh God, I wonder if Hoot messaging me. I wonder if Hoot messaging me on Steam is going to come up. I'm not sure. He said, "Time to boot my Switch."
Oh, he's getting in there.
God, y'all are making me fucking jealous. I want one, but I'm gonna just wait. Maybe Splatoon. No, I gotta wait for Mario. Unless something gets announced in between. So my girlfriend really loves Binding of Isaac, right? That's all she plays on my Vita. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I could justify it, getting one for her. This is for you, but nah.
I'm waiting to see if they'll do a bundle, because I would get a Splatoon bundle. I would also get a Mario bundle.
But Mario bundle.
I just want something
good to come with it. Yeah.
To come with it, because that's the whole point of buying late, is to take advantage of any sales or price cuts and stuff. So I need something like that.
Yeah, also, it'd be nice if they had them. Yeah, Mario would be smart. Yeah, they're nowhere. All right, back to the questions. You're on question 9. You're on question. This is question 10.
So it wasn't a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Shit, I normally have an idea when I'm listening by this point. I guess is it third person? If it's not a FPS.
Is it a third person game?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's a third person game. That's 10. You're halfway.
Hold on. A question: does third person differentiate from 2D side scroller?
Well, I don't want to give anything away. But the camera is not. It's not. Yeah, it's you see your character. I can't say anymore.
Because I had already asked if it's a first-person shooter, and if it's first-person action game, then chances are, it's going to be a shooter or nothing. So, that's fine. That's fine. We got enough questions. We can. Okay. Was it an indie game?
Yes, it was. That's 11.
Okay.
Oh man, you guys might get it. I'm kind of worried. I can't believe that the one time I played last, I didn't get the game. And I said it, if anyone was listening, I said the name of the game. I'm a little bit salty about that. But anyways.
I don't play indie shit. I don't know.
I haven't, I guess this isn't my guess, but I'm thinking it might be Bastion, but I don't want to ask it now. I want to ask some questions to try and get around to it.
Oh,
So
yeah, that was
right because that would be.
that could fit.
Well, hold on. Let's actually look up the time frame for that.
You've got good questions to figure out. You've got enough questions. You're on 11.
I know questions to pin that down, but then it's
Fucking
Don't give me Overwatch about the game. Bastion. Okay, yeah, Bastion was 2011. So
okay.
Overwatch. I just got it.
I guess it's one just to get closer to that one. Then is it like narrated by a third-person narrator?
No. That's a dumb question because that's the only game that is. Is it a?
I don't even know.
Let's see.
What's the question?
The question. Okay, here's the question: is it a 3D game?
Is it a three-dimensional game? You mean
does the game use 3D models?
Oh, throwing me off for a little bit. I'm gonna say no. No, it doesn't. No.
No. All right. Because it could also by that description could have been like I don't know, Journey. No, Journey wouldn't be an action.
No, Journey's not action at all.
Let's see. Indie games of the past 5 years that do not have sequels yet, and not 3D. Okay, is it a platformer?
By platformer, what do you mean? Like side-scrolling, kind of, or literally like jumping, like
Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah. Okay, sure. Let's ask that. Is it a side scroller?
I would not classify this as a side-scroller.
Okay, well, but what is it?
I mean, it's. I can't tell you that, but I would say no. It's not a
side
scroller. Yeah, no.
Okay.
His hesitance leads me more towards Bastion because it's not a side scroller, but it's still.
But which one was that?
Because with Bastion, it's not a side scroller, is it? It's
I guess that's true. Do you want to just? Well, like we can always ask that at the end. So I think it's dumb to waste a guess on a single game.
Yeah, definitely not. I'm just trying to think of more ways of narrowing it down.
Let's see.
Being as I can't actually think of any of them.
Okay, well, let's see. Other indie games that are not side scrollers but are action games. I mean, there's Binding of Isaac. Or is that an action game, or is that right? Like that's real time, right?
It counts as action, right? Because it's one of your favorite genres.
I don't know if you're asking me a question.
No, I've never actually played it or seen it played, but it's not turn based, right?
You've never seen a Binding of Isaac played?
It's not turn based.
Okay.
Wow.
Just get Swift to stream it for you.
Yeah. He's probably doing it anyways with two of his viewers.
All two of his.
One of them is me, by the way. I'm
also. Could also be something. I don't know. Risk of Rain is sideways.
That's side scroller. Yeah.
Hyper Light Drifter could also fall into this.
That's more recent, though.
Yeah, that is more recent.
Pop a question.
Is this game known for its soundtrack?
Yes.
All right. I mean, that's more likely for Bastion, I would think.
Yep.
That's 14. That's 14. This is 15. What you're asking.
Shit, it could also be Hotline Miami.
When was that? I don't even know. Yeah, that was fairly early, wasn't it?
No, but Hotline Miami has a sequel. so it can't be.
Oh yeah, of course. I keep forgetting the two insisted.
Smarties. Y'all are some smarties. Let's pop a question. 15.
Did we get a? We don't get a bonus if we guess it early, right?
What? No.
Okay.
Okay.
If you can guess at any time, it just counts as a question.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see.
I'm just trying to figure out even how to ask you. Narrow it down with ideas, and then all of them are just way too narrow. It doesn't really help.
I mean, it also doesn't help that I haven't played Bastion, so I don't actually know what it's about.
Right, okay. It's basically just, from what I remember, the world's all just going to shit, so this guy just goes out to try and fix it. It's really simple.
Okay, well, would a question like... I'm not asking this question, I'm asking Welp if he thinks this is a good question. Something like, does the main character use a sword?
I can't even remember what weapons he used now.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I played it. But he can use a variety. I guess that's a question along those lines of... does he... No, I don't know how to word that one. I was going to ask, about how many weapons he uses and stuff, but just wording it in a nice way.
Well, here, actually, maybe we should narrow down the date some more, actually. Mm-hmm. Was it made earlier than 2013?
Was the game developed before 2013?
Or was the game released earlier than 2013?
Yes.
Okay, at least a little more.
Right. And what question was that? What are we at now?
Oh, that was 15. You're on 16.
That was 15?
Okay, that was 15.
Anything. Ask me anything.
So we've got the name for the soundtrack.
And did I ask if it's primarily 3D? The answer was no, right?
Yeah, the answer was no.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I guess here's the game. Is it a pixel art game?
No, it's not pixel art.
Okay.
That's 16.
Okay.
4 more questions.
All right. May as well... Okay, here. This will... All right, so... I looked it up. Sebastian was released in 2011, right?
Yeah.
So I guess... So my question is... Was the game released in 2011?
Yes, this game was released in 2011.
Okay, all right. I mean,
that was 17.
Yeah,
I think we've pretty much got it at this point.
Yeah. Should we just go for it?
Yeah. Is it Bastion?
Developed by Supergiant Games, Bastion, an action role-playing game, was published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment.
Well, we're fine.
You guys figured it out. Woo! Woo! Clapping it out. You guys won. The game was Bastion. Yes. I was like, as soon as Welp was like, let me ask about the narration, you're like, no, it's a dumb question. I was like, oh, he fucked you hard. You almost had it. You were right there. Because I would have been like, yes, and of course. Everyone knows.
Yeah, because there's no other games that do that.
17 questions, but I'm going to say you guys got it in about 12. Good job, guys. Good job. Bastion. God. One of the greatest indie games, really started off the whole indie scene of games taking off on Xbox Live and stuff. So check it out.
Play that one. Yep.
It's really good. It's worth playing.
Yeah. Thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for joining us. Anyone listening, emails. Send us some emails at comfycast@gmail.com. Come hang out with us at the Comfy dubtrack.fm/comfyvideogames. Follow us on Twitter, Comfycast. Anything you want to do or don't do any of it, let us know how this episode was. And I hope you guys enjoyed our little Zelda Breath of the Wild spoiler cast. I'm going to go play more Zelda. I don't know what you guys are gonna
Hey,
do.
you need to beat that Ganon.
I know. Oh,
Yeah,
I gotta let go. I gotta let go. Persona's coming. I gotta let go. Thanks for joining, guys, and stay comfy. You guys want to say bye?
Yeah, take care, everybody.
Stay comfy.
All right, later.